Hello, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about Westward Movement as a result of the Civil War. And these map I'm going to show you is from 1860. This is before the Civil War started. And this green shows that barely anybody lived on the western part of the United States. There is some people in California, a couple over here in these areas, but almost everybody lived in the East Coast. And it's not a huge difference, but where you can see where it's dark, you can see a lot of people are starting to move west. And this is from 1870, which is after the Civil War. So many Americans had to rebuild their lives after the Civil War. They responded to the incentive of free public land and moved west to take advantage of the Homestead Act of 1862, which gave free public land in the Western territories to settlers who would live on and farm on the land. So the government passed this law. Remember, an act means a law. And it said, if you move west, we will give you free land. And you have to live there and you have to farm there. Many African Americans moved west to seek new opportunities after the Civil War, and they also wanted to escape racism. Uh, we'll talk a little bit more about it next class, but during the war and after the war, even though African Americans were free, they still faced a lot of racism. And there's something called exodusters, and this is the name given to African Americans who moved to Kansas. And a lot of Southerners moved west, and because the South faced a lot of destruction during the Civil War, many Southerners moved to the West in order to seek economic opportunities. So they're trying to make money. In the South, was in ruins. Remember, the Confederate money was worthless. A lot of people were poor. So they moved west. They wanted to get the free land from the Homestead Act. Technology also helps people move after the Civil War. New technology such as railroads, the telegraph, telephones starting to come out now, and mechanical reaper opened new lands in the West for settlement and made farming profitable by increasing the production and connecting resources and markets. The big one we're going to talk about is the Transcontinental Railroad. And in 1869, a railroad was built connecting California to Nebraska, essentially connecting the East Coast to the West Coast. This was called the Transcontinental Railroad, and this helped people increase the westward movement of settlers into the states between the Mississippi River and the Pacific Ocean. So people are starting to move between the Mississippi River and Pacific Ocean. You guys have a map on the back of your notes, and on it, I want you to draw a line that shows the Transcontinental Railroad. It starts in California and it ends in Omaha, Nebraska, right here. So draw this line. I'll pause the video so you have a chance to do that. And I want you to write Transcontinental Railroad right next to it. Now I want you to draw the Mississippi River. This red line shows the Mississippi River. And once again, I will pause the video so you can draw it, but people really started to move west of the Mississippi River during this time. They're starting to move into this region. And by the turn of the century, the Great Plains and Rocky Mountain regions of the American West were no longer a mostly unsettled frontier, but were fast becoming regions of farms, ranches, and towns. So before the Civil War, this area almost nobody lived, but the Great Plains, which is right here, are starting to become populated. And on your map, I want you to choose a color, and I want you to shade where the Great Plains are. So it starts in Texas, goes all the way up to North Dakota and Montana. Now on your map, choose a different color, and I want you to shade where the Rocky Mountains are. This is a mountain range. It kind of goes into Washington, Idaho, Montana, and it goes all the way down to New Mexico. But I want you to color where the Rocky Mountain system is. And these are areas that started to become populated. And just like we keep learning about American Indians, the forcible removal of the American Indians from their lands continued throughout the remainder of the 19th century as settlers continued to move west following the Civil War. And the 19th century is from the year 1801 to 1900. So this is after the Civil War, 1860s, 1870s, and Indians are forced off their land. All right, that's everything for this slide. It's pretty quick. If you guys have any questions, let me know.